Now, the markets reacted very positively this morning after the announcement that Pravin Gordhan is back as Finance Minister. Nompu is at the JSE. Perhaps she could tell us how the markets are reacting at the moment. Nompu.
Thanks very much, Devon. Well, yes, the markets did respond positively, we saw equities coming up in the black, although the mining stocks continue to be beaten down, and that's, I suppose, because of the commodities complex being on a downward spiral in terms of prices there. Bond yields improved quite substantially by about 100 basis points. That's 1 percentage point. After the announcement of Nhlanhla being dismissed last week, bond yields rose by about in excess of 150 basis points, which just basically means that if you're an institution on the market trying to borrow money, it costs you more to get debt. So that has reduced. So that's a positive thing. And as a result, it filtered into the financial stocks, which came up quite very nicely today. If you remember, after the negative announcement that Nhlanhla had been dismissed, the financial stocks came down by almost 20% in the following days. But now those have come up by more than 15%. So they're doing quite nicely, responding well. But after Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan speaking just now, looking at the rand, I see that it's actually weakened by several cents. It seems to have weakened by about 8 cents against the dollar. So there are numerous things that affect the rand exchange rate. We can't attribute everything just to the minister. Initially, we saw that the rand had firmed slightly, but now there is some weakening. So we'll need to investigate further as to what might be the reason for that. But we know on the horizon is the Fed Reserve's FOMC meeting on Wednesday. They're going to decide on interest rates, and it's widely expected that they will raise rates, and that will have implications for emerging market currencies like the rand. So it may well be that investors are pricing in a possible weakening of the rand when that announcement is made on Wednesday. So these are some of the things that are happening. Another issue on the markets, referring to commodities, the oil price, that has weakened substantially. We're seeing that around the $37 a barrel mark, very low. That should translate into good prices for us in terms of petrol prices here in South Africa. But unfortunately, because we are an exporting, a commodity exporting country, all the commodities are down. So our commodity exporting companies are affected and not going to get decent revenues, and that's going to affect our trade balance. So it's not great news. And with the rand still hovering around 15 against the dollar, 23 against the pound, we're likely to see some inflation. I think earlier we had Dr. Azar Jamin from Econometrics saying that we could see inflation peaking at around 7% as opposed to 6%, which was expected before. Well, I think I've rambled on enough. It's back to you, Devon.
Thanks very much indeed. Nompumelelo Siziba there covering the markets for us. The rand now behind her, looking like 15.32 to the US dollar. Of course, still seems to be in some volatile territory at the moment, bouncing in and out of the 15.20 area.